Hey, hello everyone, my name is Chris and welcome back to another movie review. Today I'm gonna be reviewing another Marvel movie that came out this year, and that is Ant-Man and the Wasp. So as usual, I'm quickly gonna go through the story of this movie and tell you the story of this movie in short and what it is about. Then I'm gonna share my opinions and thoughts about the movie. So yeah, one big spoiler alert across the screen in case you didn't watch this movie and you don't want to get spoiled or whatever. Then just click away from this video, and in case you are interested in my review, then stay with me till the end of this video. So let's get started. Alright, so Ant-Man and the Wasp is a sequel to first Ant-Man movie. It's a Marvel movie from Marvel Comics. I really love the first movie and the characters and everything. It was pretty cool. So in this sequel, again, we follow our main character, Scott, or Ant-Man. And movie takes place after Captain America Civil War. If you watched Captain America Civil War and when they have that like fight on the airfield, actually that's where Ant-Man and the Wasp takes place after that event. And we can see Scott locked up in the house, and he is under house arrest and he's not allowed to leave the house. He has Officer Jimmy and FBI checking up on him every few days. Is he trying to escape and how is he doing? So basically we follow him trying to be father he always wanted to be, and he now spends more time with his daughter, playing with her in the house and all that kind of stuff. So we basically follow his life as a father he always wanted to be, until one day Hope and Pym, which are characters from the first movie, kidnap him and take him back to action. Basically the reason why they kidnapped him is because if you watch the first Ant-Man movie, there is a first scene where Pym and his wife Janet are actually saving the world from nuclear catastrophe by destroying the nuke. And there was no other option to stop that nuke than for Janet to go really small, so small that she goes to that quantum universe, and that was actually the way she destroyed the electronics inside that nuke and stopped the nuke from landing. And now what they're trying to do in Ant-Man and the Wasp is actually save Janet, because Scott in the first movie ended up in the same quantum universe. He also gets so small, and because of that he had a vision of Janet, which is Pym's wife and Hope's mother, and they actually realized that something was going on in the lab, and Scott had a vision of Janet in the same time. And the reason they kidnap him reason they kidnap Scott is because they think that Scott is somehow connected to Janet, and he was able to see her, and Pym and Hope think that she might still be alive, and actually what they're trying to do is to actually save Janet and bring her back to her original size. Scott is facing FBI and he's really trying hard to not get caught outside the house, because that will mean going back to prison immediately. And then there are like two villains in this movie. First one is just basically some random guy that sold components for finishing the lab project for Janet, for extracting Janet from that quantum universe. And he basically sold some components and some electronical parts to Hope so they can finish the lab and that machine for going to quantum universe. And he realized what are they working on, and he wanted to take that lab and make the business out of it. And of course that doesn't really go so well, so through the movie he's trying to get that lab and get the money out of that project and everything. And then second villain in this movie is some girl that calls herself a ghost. Basically what happened to her is that she was hit by that wave of like radiation or whatever it is of that like quantum universe machine, and her atoms in the body are really separated and they're falling apart, and her body is constantly falling apart, and she can like go through the walls, and she's basically like a ghost. She can't grab any stuff or anything, she just goes through it, and her body is like all spread into little atoms, and she has like ghost powers or whatever. and she was trained as a stealthy special operative, and she was in the war, killing people and all that kind of stuff. And the reason why she wants that quantum universe machine and lab is basically because she wants to fix herself and to be like, again, normal human being without those atoms falling out of her body. Yeah, that's pretty much the story of Ant-Man and the Wasp. So we have a Scott running from FBI after the incident in Captain America Civil War, and we have them again facing that ghost girl that's trying to stop them, and that random guy that wants to take the lab and turn it into business and make money on it or whatever. And basically Scott, Pym and Hope are trying to save Janet from that quantum universe she's been stuck into for a very long time, because they believe that she might still be alive. And yeah, it's pretty much what the story of this movie is all about. So in my opinion, story for Ant-Man sequel is not that bad. It's actually quite good. I really enjoyed the story. But again, my opinion on this movie in general would be that it was made just to be fun. You know, if you analyze this movie too much, that's where it's gonna go wrong and it's gonna get worse. Some downsides would be like maybe lack of action. I feel like first Ant-Man movie had more action than the Ant-Man and the Wasp, and that's something I really missed in this movie. Like, I feel there was much more action scenes in first Ant-Man movie. Also, don't think that Ant-Man and the Wasp doesn't have any action scenes or whatever. Actually, no, it has a lot of action scenes, but I feel that there was even more in first movie, but that's just my opinion. And I really love the action scenes in Ant-Man and the Wasp, especially those car chases, and it's always fun to see them like going small and then going big, and all those like fight scenes where they combine that getting small and big ability combined with the fight. It's really creative, and I think fight scenes and those, like I said, car chases were really creative and well done. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, in general, in my opinion, I think Ant-Man and the Wasp is just a movie that was made to be fun. You know, there is like no any special emotional moments or whatever. There was few, but they're not that special or whatever. And it's just what you get from this kind of movie. Don't expect too much. That's what I'm gonna say to you. Don't expect too much from this movie. It's a good sequel, just like the first movie. It's fun to watch. It's good to kill your time. And if you're a Marvel fan, then I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it. And yeah, pretty much just movie that's made, and yeah, pretty much just a movie that's meant to be fun to watch, and that's all. So yeah, don't expect too much from it, and I think you're gonna be pretty happy with it. Oh, I forgot to mention how epic was after credits scene in Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's connected to Avengers Infinity War, and when I realized what's going on in that scene, I was like, whoa, no way, this just happened. I really didn't expect that. I'm not gonna spoil you what happened, but for me it was very unexpected, and it totally turned out the way I never expected it's gonna turn. And I was just left with my jaw dropped down like, what? That was just another good thing about this movie. Alright, so this was my review for Ant-Man and the Wasp, my opinions and thoughts all about the movie. Also, share yours if you want down below in the comments. I would like to hear your opinions and thoughts about this movie. And if you like this video, then go ahead and leave a like, share, comment, or subscribe if you want. You don't have to if you don't want to. Also, join my Chris Facebook group. Link is down below in the description, so you can follow me over there. Also, if you want. If you don't want to, that's just fine. And if you have any questions, leave them on my ass.fm. Link is also down below in the description. And I'll definitely see you in the next videos, guys. I love you. Thank you for all of your support. You're amazing. And I'll see you in the next videos. Chris out.